This presentation covers Web Technologies in the Genero web client. Genero uses a variety of web technologies listed on this slide: HTML, XHTML, CSS, XML, XSLT, and JavaScript. These sessions provide a brief overview of each of these technologies. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, while XHTML stands for Extended Hypertext Markup Language. HTML and XHTML include a set of symbols or codes included in a text file that is intended for display in a browser page. The markup tells the web browser how to display the web page's words and images to the user. Here's a quick example. Notice that the HTML file starts and ends with the HTML tags, and the content includes a head with the title, a body with H1 header tags, paragraph tags, and address tags. The opening tag contains the marker, while the closing tag, the tag that finishes off a section, starts with the backslash. When the browser displays the page, it interprets the tag and formats the page for display in accordance to the browser's rules for displaying headers, titles, paragraphs, and so on. Cascading style sheets provide you with the ability to control the appearance of a web page by allowing you to define how you want the different elements, paragraphs, headers, and so on, to display. You define the style for each element type, and these defined styles take precedence over the default browser settings and any user settings. As shown in this example, you include a style sheet by referencing it in the head section of your HTML document. The style sheet itself is made up of the element name, such as body, followed by a curly brace, and then for each property or attribute you wish to define, you provide the name of the property, followed by a colon, followed by a value for that property, and then finish with a semicolon. You repeat this for each property you are defining for that element. Once you have listed all of the elements you are defining, you end with a closing curly brace. The web page takes the style sheet and uses it to format how the page displays. XML stands for the Extensible Markup Language. XML has fast become the standard for communication across the Internet due to its simple text format and ease of reading. Any text editor can be used to create an XML file, such as Genero Studio. The important thing to realize about XML is that it is simply a markup language. It does not do anything in and of itself. It is simply used to describe and structure data. A document type definition or DDT file, or, as of more recent, an XML schema file, provide the rules for what is and is not acceptable in a specific XML file created for a specific purpose. In the XML example we show here, you can see that we are organizing the data from a note from Bob to Sue. It has a to element, from element, heading element, and body element. If this file is sent to an application, it is assumed that the application will be expecting an XML file with these 4 sections and will know how to parse the file to put the content, the data between the tag, in its proper place. XSL and XSLT refer to the extensible style sheet language and XSL transformations. Within Genero, we use XSLT to translate the Genero presentation styles defined in a .4st file into an inline CSS needed to apply the presentation styles to the web application page. Last but not least is JavaScript. JavaScript is a scripting language that allows you to include scripts on the web page that can be run on your client. Its usage is not required for all applications, but it is a handy way to implement client-side scripts on your application page. You will be using these various web technologies when it comes time to configure your application server, in the case of XML, and when you customize your application. These technologies are not Genero specific. They are the standard in the Internet arena. To learn more about any of these technologies, you will find useful tutorials at www.w3schools.com. The standards for these technologies are set by the World Wide Web Consortium, whom you can find out more about at www.w3.org.